because it's crazy windy. The wind, she switched up my to-do list today, and I was feeling some type of way about it, so I wrote a poem about it. This is my mother's beautiful velvet outfit she wears every holiday season, every Christmas season, every solstice season, and I needed some warmth to be standing in front of this crazy dramatic wind. Wanted you to just pick up on a little bit of it, because for weeks now we've been having this like unusual wind, and about a week ago it knocked over a bunch of tree limbs. I mean, we just went on our walk and it was like madness, wreaking havoc in the woods. So I just wanted you to get a little feel of her, because she is undulating out there, baby. And so I needed warmth, but this is also a garment that evokes a lot of winter spirituality for me, because my mother's worn it most of my life. It's this beautiful Native American sterling silver beading on this green velvet, so it makes me feel very in touch with the elements. But the elements seem a little bent out of shape if you've been paying attention. So my lovely friend Paige is coming over to exchange some gifts, and so I wanted to lift my voice into there. Actually, I'm going to show it because it fits with my spiritual. This is what I worked really hard on for her. It's a muka, and it seems just very relevant to the beauty and the spiritus and all that. So as the wind chills us, I will give this little ode to her. So, and I have written several poems inspired by the wind on here, but she really does just sort of send me very clear messages at times, and she does talk to me, and sometimes I gotta jot it down, because I'm like, I think she wants me to be her secretary. So, and you know, elements, it's kind of like French. I don't always understand why certain French words are masculine and some are fremsculine. There's a word I just made up. Some words are feminine, some words are masculine, but it's like, you know, with the elements, sometimes you just feel a pull one way or the other. The wind is probably gender fluid, if we're being real, but here I have referred to them as she. This is just how it came to me. So here it is. Yes, I'm doing this one about you. Yes. Today's poem is called I Hear You, Girl. These winds they call the winds of change, sometimes singing, sometimes strange, often bringing hope in tow, occasionally rearranging the entire show. They blow messages in codes that only those listening long enough know. The flow can feel chaotic or hypnotic. It licks at the air. It dares to start careless love affairs with tree limbs, knowing it's over before it begins, and that her power will leave them skimmed of limbs and worse for caring. She's always sharing risque stories and tales of glory. Oh, the wars we wage. She blows over like a page in her journal. We think we know so much, yet she is eternal and knows all roads and hidden folds of the past. She laughs at our thin grasp of the enormous task of keeping a planet. She can unite a group and just as easily disband it. We notice her, for she demands it. She can't stand it when she dances with all her soul and we just go along our merry roll as though she isn't woven into the whole of existence. Our resistance to her is worthless, of course. She can knock over a horse or a whole barn if she chooses. Often, though, she soothes us. She throws tantrums at times, spinning dust to make a point. And then other times you can feel her anoint you with a blessing in some sun glow, slow moment in the woods. She'll suddenly remind you what's good about yourself and all of creation. Then other moments, she wants the agony she feels felt by us, and she'll bust through our calm contemplation to make it known. Often when she groans in the late evening, I feel that she may be seething with an anger she can't express to anyone. I hear her run her invisible hands over the land with plans I cannot guess at. She knocked flat several telephone poles and trees these past few weeks, and I cannot help but seek some commune with her soon, so as to be sure she isn't planning more mayhem. But at times I think she pretends everything is fine, then leaves us all stunned to find she had something else in mind. Today, she shifted all my plans, as only one so powerful can. I folded my hands to steady my heavy anxieties. I heed the warning of her sometimes chaotic tendencies. She wants to please us, I think, but quick as a blink, she flips her attention to the desire to impress the other elements like water and fire. I think they conspire to outdo one another. And as we humans scramble to recover, they're off discovering new mischief to be made. I do not think the wind behaves when it is asked of her. I think she only purrs like a cat when she is certain that it will be thoroughly appreciated. Her antics are occasionally mediated by the observant clouds, who seem at times to allow her fits, and then in other instances they glimpse her being too wild, and they file into a sort of calming visual presentation to seemingly slow her calamity of hyperventilation. Today the trees lose patience as they are tossed about with little sentiments. It's evident she has something to get off her chest. I think it best we stay inside and abide to her shuddering display. She has much to say today. The wind chimes play as though she is an orchestra conductor, flailing her arms to stir them all. She calls out for something unknown. If only I could just pick up the elemental phone line and find out what she's after. The sound out there is like a hysterical kind of laughter, unbothered by whom it bothers, and making the hair of lovely daughters freshly braided become frayed and wild in pulses of her skyward pulpit. She tosses grit and pebbles like an unhinged rebel at the windows. She's putting on quite the show. Our tensions grow as she refuses to slow down, levitating the ground particles and pulling on all the Christmas lights. Does she find delight in this rebellion? She is quite the hellion tonight. Yet I know she fights to be understood. She seeks under bridges and deep in the woods for someone to really listen as they should. Any human or creature who truly could would be most rare indeed. She feeds on the hairs that stand up on our necks. She reflects what we are unwilling to see in a sort of soundtrack that impacts all vibrations and signals. She pulls on the curtain that we all become so certain of, and with a love that is certainly hard to understand, she shifts our plans and stands resolute in her peculiar quest to get us dressed and bundled, to step outside and be humbled by her. So I'm sure my memory's going to be annoying in a second, but we'll step outside quickly and just be humbled by her. That's how we end the poem. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be right here and see now. She's being sort of gentle. Oh. And then she does like a psych out. Yeah, I feel pretty thoroughly humbled. So, hey, we're tumbling right along to 365, and thanks for jiving with me once again, friends. Thanks for sending me love and encouragement through this crazy journey. Oh, there she goes. She's like, I'm ramping up. So come on back. We'll do it again tomorrow. It's the solstice.